Hey everyone, welcome to Pop Hearts TV. I'm Heather Joy Smith, and today I am here with Sheyda. She is a singer and songwriter originally from California, but now you're living in Nashville. Is that correct?
Yes, I am. It's a lot of fun out here. It's definitely a different change of pace, but it's really good. It's nice.
Yeah. Thank you so much for taking the time to speak with us today.
Of course, thank you for having me. This is so fun.
Yeah, I know you have some new music out that we'll get to. I want to hear about your journey though from, getting into the music business. How did that happen? What made you decide to be a singer?
Since I was a very little girl, I have loved music and loved singing and dancing and always found ways to be involved in that from a very young age. And when I went to high school, I had a really great teacher who kind of just really created a space where that could flourish. And about my sophomore year, I was like, I have to go to a music school. I have to go do something. And I graduated high school thinking I was going to go to Berklee College of Music in Boston. And I got in there, but Boston wasn't the place for me. It's a wonderful place, but it just wasn't for me. And off chance, I found Belmont University, which is out here,
Mm-hmm.
and ended up coming out here and falling in love with Nashville. I didn't even know Nashville was a thing. Like I had no clue that Nashville was like this place that had anything other than like old country music.
Uh-huh.
Um, and I came out here and it was the coolest place. So I came here and fell in line with some wonderful songwriters and just never looked back. Never looked back.
What a cool story. And the first time I heard your music, I was completely blown away. Like I literally just like stopped what I was doing. I was like, whoa,
I love
this
that.
girl is so talented. Like your voice, for anyone who's watching who has not heard your music, you need to go like after this interview is done and go listen to her music stat because it is
So much.
insane. Like
Yeah.
your vocals. But tell everybody kind of the type of music that you do because it's a little bit different.
Yeah, I grew up, when I met with a couple of different labels growing up and producers and things, and they would always ask me the age-old question, where do you fit? What genre are you? What box are you? And I never really had an answer. I always had fun listening to all kinds of different things, and I had fun singing all kinds of different things, and it always felt really wrong for me to say I'm this one thing or I'm that one thing. And so a friend of mine used the term genreless and I fell in love with it. And I was like, that is what I am. I think I can be put under the umbrella of pop, but you're going to hear elements of rock, of country, of blues, of just whatever feels right for that song. In my opinion, like I'm just not afraid. If it sounds good for that song, that's what I want the song to be. I don't want to say, well, that's not pop enough, so we can't have that song sound this cool because it doesn't fall in that line,
Right.
so for me, I've now in the last couple of years, I'm like, I'm genreless, pop-ish, but I just do whatever feels right for that song or for that sound.
Yeah, I love that you're saying genreless because it kind of crosses into so many different genres and then it doesn't, limit you onto what you can do, especially being in Nashville now. I mean, has country music kind of maybe had an influence a little bit?
Yes, I think, if you listen to my song GTG, there's definitely a really country twang to the guitar. And even if you listen to the Dragon, it's more rock than anything else, really live instruments, but there is like a little country undertone. My dad was a 90s country guy. Like he always had
Uh,
that playing in the car. And I hated it growing up. I hated it. And and we would always fight over the radio. And now, living out here in Nashville, I have a real appreciation for it. And I've fallen in love with a lot of current country bands and country artists. And so I'm not afraid to have that in my, I'm even wearing my little bolo tie with my cowl on there, but it's so, I love it. I think it definitely has an influence on my music
yeah.
today.
What has been the most surprising thing about moving to Nashville from California?
Um, I think I mentioned this earlier where it's not just a country space. It's a lot of different music and culture and really good food and really amazing clothing and style. And there's a lot of art and a lot of culture here that I don't think people realize isn't just in the country box. And, a lot of people come here and they're like, wow, like this place is, it's crazy. It's insane. It's this blend of country and LA and its own thing. And so I think that was the biggest surprise for me. And now, I'm in love with it. And I don't think I could ever not have a home here. So I think that was the most surprising thing.
Yeah, I want to get into your new music that you have out. Your song "Wish I Could Want You" is off of the End of Summer Love EP. Talk about this song and the EP and putting it all together, because I know it's a little bit unique situation here.
Yeah. So, we put out the original version of "Wish I Could Want You" a little bit ago, just on its own as a single. And it was really pop, and a lot was going on with the song, and we put out a fun music video, and it was really great, and I love that version. And we decided, what things can we do to kind of get more attention to the song, and we were like, why don't we do a bunch of love songs that are not really love songs, more breakup songs, more kind of stick it to the other person's songs. And let's do these little like 1 minute and fun Instagram clips. And we started doing these little 1 minute things, and we all just kind of really fell in love with them. And we're like, we kind of just need to do a full EP. We're just going to choose like 4 of the songs and add a stripped down version of "Wish I Could Want You" and make an EP and just call it a day. And I'm so happy we did, because I love the stripped version that we released with the End of Summer Love EP. And I love the covers we did. I mean, it's some of my favorite songs. Who doesn't love No Scrubs? Who doesn't love TLC?
I mean, right? That was so good.
And it was good. Like, and it's got kind of this vibey, like musical like feel to it. And it's so fun. And I'm like, that's a new interesting way to look at No Scrubs. And we just had fun. And I'm so happy we did it. So that was the most recent release. And it's been an absolute blast to put out and hear and perform and all that fun stuff.
Yeah. And you recorded some of the songs from your kitchen. Is that correct?
My friend's kitchen.
Yeah, so your friend's kitchen. Done. Yes.
So my friend Leland Grant, he is a wonderful musician, mixer, producer, who is out here in Nashville, who I wrote The Dragon with and a couple other songs with. His studio got flooded. And so he moved all of his stuff into his kitchen and has been remodeling his studio. So I came to him and I'm like, we need to do this EP, whatever. And he's like, I mean, if you don't mind the kitchen. And I was like, I don't care. Like, if it sounds good, I'm happy. So, and it sounds great. And we even did the music video in the kitchen living area space, and it looks so cool and grungy. And I'm like, I love this. This is great. So the whole thing, all the songs, all the videos, his kitchen.
Yeah. I mean, that's like the one thing that I think we've all learned how to do over the last couple of years, is how to figure out where to do our craft in another place. That's not where we're
just having to pivot and figure it out. And I love that. That's kind of like, the survivor spirit, like what you just figure it out, kind of throw it all in the kitchen sink and see what happens, which I love.
Literally.
Literally throw it in the kitchen sink.
What are some of your other favorite covers that you've done, in the past couple of years?
Oh gosh, I'm really in love. I love Labyrinth. Mm-hmm. And that's on the EP too. My cover of his song, he's just the most, I sing that song and I'm like, the fact that I didn't write that is the most upsetting thing ever to me. Like, it's such a good song and it's so beautiful. Angels Like You, My Cyrus, also on the EP. Those are the ones that are on my mind right now, because those are the ones that we did. But I grew up doing a lot of Led Zeppelin covers when I was younger, with my high school band that I used to play with, and those were always my favorite covers. So I love to Janis Joplin and Led Zeppelin, and so I used to do all those kinds of covers, and so those will always be some of my favorites.
Yeah. Where do you find inspiration when you're writing for your music?
Usually in my everyday life. Unfortunately, everybody who's in my life just needs to know that there is a chance they could be written about. I've had a friend have come and told me about, this night out or, whatever, and I turn it into a song, or I feel like that's a really cool moment in life that needs to be spoken about. I end up singing a lot about heartbreak, unfortunately, or breakups, or maybe not so unfortunately, but
you live and learn.
Yeah, you live and you learn. Today I was actually back at Leland's house and I was sitting with him and our friend Reagan and we were writing a song. And it was, I just sat down and I go, all right, who's got some feelings? Who wants to talk about the feelings today? Who's not feeling good? Who's feeling really good? Like, everyone tell us your secrets. And we just kind of, you sit there and you just say whatever's on your mind. And at some point someone goes, oh, that's really cool.
Yeah.
We need to do that. So that's where the inspiration comes from.
That's awesome. What's been the best piece of advice that you've gotten throughout your career?
Jody Marr, one of my singing teachers from Belmont and one of the people I've written with a lot now and who's a huge inspiration to me. She always said, or one of the first things she said in our classroom was, don't be afraid to sound dumb. And you've heard this, there are no dumb questions, but she was like, if you want to write something great, don't be afraid to just talk. You just, you may sound, it may be the most ridiculous sentence you've ever said in your life, but it could be the coolest line in a song ever. And you don't know. And you need to not be afraid to just sound silly, because some of the coolest stuff is odd or off center. And you have to just kind of be brave about it. And it's not easy. It's still not easy because, sometimes you're in a writing room with a legend or someone really cool and you're like, gosh, I really want to sound awesome and professional and I only want to say poetic, beautiful things, but you just have to kind of say whatever, you'll either like my spirit and you'll like that I'm trying, or you won't, but that's on them, not on you. So just don't be afraid.
Yeah. Is there anyone that you would love to get into the studio with, to write with or record with?
Oh gosh, it's so many. There's people ask me that question and it's like, is that today's artists or like the legends, right? Like I would love, I'd love to get in the studio with Ed Sheeran and Post Malone or Miley Cyrus. And those are really fun current people, but, also Stevie Nicks or Mick Jagger or Robert Plant, the lead singer of Led Zeppelin, like all these really cool people who've just lived crazy lives. I would love to get into a writing room with them and just see what happens, or honestly just sit there in awe and silence and let them do it.
I'm just gonna watch you go.
Yeah, I'll just watch. Can we do like a 6-day writing thing for 4 days? I just sit silently and watch, and then maybe on like the last 2 I'll throw something in there.
That's amazing. I have a little fun game for us to play. So you're just going to tell me the first thing that comes to your mind when
okay
question. You ready?
Yes.
Okay, last thing you binge watched.
Oh, the 100.
Oh yeah. I was watching that. It's so good.
It's really good.
If you could switch places with one person for a day, who would it be?
Oh Lord. Dolly Parton.
Oh, good. Your favorite clothing item?
A plaid, like a gigantic boys plaid that I just put over everything.
One song on your playlist that you play on repeat every day, no matter what year it is.
Right now I am playing the new Lil Nas X song, Industry Baby with Jack Harlow. I play it 27 million times a day.
Favorite animal?
Elephants.
Guilty pleasure?
Chocolate.
Favorite phone app?
Oh, it's a game. It's a hotel game. I have no clue what the name of it is, but it's very time consuming and absolutely pointless and useless. I don't remember what it's called. I think it's called Hotel Mansion or something.
Best thing that you can cook or bake?
Lasagna from scratch.
Yum. Least favorite food?
Least favorite, broccoli.
Favorite place you've traveled to?
Oh, probably Mozambique, Africa.
Ooh. Weirdest or most unique thing you've done in the last year?
The weirdest thing. I got on my I used to be able to ride a unicycle, and I got on my unicycle like 2 months ago, and it was very funny to see me attempt to ride a unicycle again.
That is so cool. Last one, something you're most excited about.
I am super excited about my upcoming release of a song I've had since I was in college. called Lungs. It's coming out on the 13th, and I'm really pumped about it coming out.
Amazing. That's so exciting. I'm so glad we ended on that question. That was perfect. Thank you so much. Where can everybody find you on social media?
I am on Instagram and TikTok and Facebook, I believe, under the same handle. It's I am Sheyda _.
Perfect. All right. Well, thank you so much again, and we will talk to you soon.
Thank you so much, everyone. It's been an amazing time.